All right, just jumping on here. It's my first Right Now broadcast. We'll try this out. We used to do Right Time, which was like a scheduled thing, but Rachel and I don't have the time for that now at night. So I'm just kind of jumping on doing a Right Now when I have the time, kind of during the day or whatever, when I have stuff worth talking about. So we just got a bunch of new inks in. I want to swab them up, and I figured while I'm here and just kind of hanging out near the computer anyway, I'd go ahead and swab them up and show you guys what these new inks are all about. We got some De Atramentis colors and some Diamine. We got the 5 last new Diamine colors in. We got Sargasso Sea, Ochre, Peach Haze, Grape, and Misty Blue. So we'll see how they turn out. De Atramentis, we got a bunch of people inks. We got Tchaikovsky, Don Quixote, Handel, Puccini, some other ones. So we will just kind of play around with those. I have a fairly straightforward swabbing process. I have these full sheets of Clairefontaine pollen cardstock that I like to cut up into small squares like this for when I do my swabs. And then I do the swabs with a glass pen, which, you know, probably isn't the most ideal choice, but I've been using it for so long. I did it back when we started our first swabs, and once I kind of started with that, I kind of needed to stick with it. So I'm still doing them with the glass pen and a Q-tip swab. So we'll see here. So you got Neil's in here in the chat. If anybody else wants to jump in the chat too, you know, tweet out to your friends or whatever to come and join me, because you know, I can take questions and stuff while I'm doing this. It's not just a broadcast format. This is an interactive thing going on here. So if you got a Justin TV account, you can jump on here and we can chat while we are broadcasting here. So I'll go ahead and do the Diamines first, because these are brand new colors, and I'm kind of excited about these. So I'm going to start with the ones that I'm least excited about, the Ochre and the Peach Haze, and then I'll build up to the blues that I really am excited to see what they're like. All right, so we'll try Peach Haze first. See how those work out. Hopefully the audio is okay. Okay, Diamine Peach Haze. I've been really impressed with the newer Diamine colors that have been coming out. It seems like they're doing a lot more saturated colors, which is kind of cool to see. Interesting thing about these swabs is I've been doing them for a long time, and we used to do them on white and off-white paper, but there wasn't much benefit to doing them on off-white paper. Hang on, I need a paper towel. I mean, there was some benefit to off-white paper, but it was confusing a lot of people, and it was a lot of work to you know, color adjust them and edit them and all that stuff, and for Rachel to keep track of listing them. So we opted not to do that anymore. But the thing is, I already had like 500 or so that were already done like that. So, you know, I went ahead and I'm still doing them. You know, I'm still doing the off-white paper in addition to the white. It's probably overkill. I shouldn't do it, but I'm kind of a pack rat anyway. So I've already got, you know, 600 some swabs that are off-white. I plan to put them up like on my wall or something like that. You trash can too. Okay. I plan to put them up on my wall or something. I don't know. I haven't gotten it together yet. We just moved offices not long ago. So this is my new studio. All right, Peach Haze. It's kind of orange, actually. It's not really pink, which is a good thing in my opinion. I don't like pink inks. Okay, kind of cool. I'll show it to you. It's not going to look right on the video, but I'm going to do color adjusted swabs. That's what these are for. Oh man, does that not look the same on video? Okay. Yeah, it's got a little pink color to it, but it's kind of orange. It's more orange than I thought. Okay, Peach Haze. So, you know, that's there. It's not like lighting my world on fire, but then again, this shade of ink doesn't really do it for me anyway. I'm very much into blues. So that's why I'm excited about these other new diamonds. Okay. Anybody else wants to jump in the chat, feel free. I can answer any questions you want. I'm just here hanging out live. Well, I am recording this, so if you watch this later, it won't be live, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, Diamine Ochre. Okay. Make sure I spell that right. Okay. Always stinks when I spell something wrong because then I got to go back and redo the swab. Or sometimes I can fix it in Photoshop. Sometimes that's easier. Okay, ochre is actually a better looking color than I thought it would be. This wasn't one that I was like super excited about, but we'll see. It's kind of like an ancient copper type color. It's not too different from that. Not quite as exciting as that one is. Okay. So it's not too bad. Granted, the video is not going to make it look all that great, but yeah, it's a brown with kind of a coppery yellowish hue to it, I guess. It's interesting. It looks better on the glass pen actually than the swab does. So I imagine inked up in a pen, that one will look better. Oh, we got some people in the comments here in the chat. Any indications that number 5 nibs for the Encore will be coming in? Oh, extra fine. Oh, they don't exist yet. Extra fines in the number 5 don't exist yet. Brian Gray, even if you go directly to Edison, they don't have them. He's got to grind them himself. That's how it was with the number 6s for like the Premiere and all that. But then that's something that Jovo decided to start offering. Jovo is a company in Germany where Edison gets all their nibs. So it's not until they start offering it that we can offer it on the Encore. So for right now, your only option is to get a ground from Brian Gray, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world to do that. So it might be worth it to wait a little bit. Though the nibs are pretty wet, so if you really wanted something fine, you would need to get it ground. But you know, it's gonna be a little while probably. I think they're looking into it, but it's not anything that's gonna happen like the next few weeks or anything. Oh, just curious if there's any news on the apple green Lamis. Nothing yet. I know overseas some people have them, but we're still waiting. Still waiting on official word of when they're coming in. That's a distributor thing. Okay, Diamine Grape. Ooh, wow. Dark purple. Very dark indeed. Huh. That's kind of cool. If you like PR Tanzanite, you're going to like this one. Oh, silly Lamy. Yeah. You don't know the half of it. We weren't allowed to talk about that pen for a long time. It was silly. You could see it everywhere on the internet, but we weren't allowed to say anything officially as U.S. retailers. It was pretty ridiculous, but... Ooh, whoa. Wow. Wow. Grape is cool. Wow, that is dark purple. Okay. Wow, Grape is dark. If you like dark purple, Diamine Grape may do it for you. I haven't seen a purple this dark in a while. PR Tanzanite's the only thing that I can think of. Look at that. That's pretty dark. Oh yeah, when Lamy told Fountain Pen Geeks to pull down those pictures, yeah, it was a little crazy. You know, it's hard. Some companies still don't seem to have the hang of this whole, you know, World Wide Web thing that, you know, the internet is outside of any country that anybody can see stuff. So it's like stuff was popping up overseas, and as silly as it was, anybody in the U.S. still weren't allowed to talk about it. Okay, Misty Blue. Misty Blue. And don't worry, I'll recap all these inks too, if you happen to be jumping in kind of late here. Okay, Misty Blue. Kind of cool. Diamine's been doing some really cool colors. All these new ones, these newest 20 that have come in. I mean, some I prefer more than others, but I really haven't seen one that's like a bad one yet, per se. You see the purple mix up awesome burgundy. Interesting. That would be cool to see. That purple's real dark. Okay, swabbing up Misty Blue. Okay, not super saturated. We'll probably get some decent shading on this one. Okay, it's like a royal blue. Here's Misty Blue. It looks pretty good. It's pretty solid blue. Yeah. Not super saturated. Interesting. Okay. It looks better in the bottle, I think, than it does on paper. But we'll see. We'll see when I scan it up and dry. Well, I'll wait till it dries. You really can't tell too much until the ink's completely dry. There's a Q-tip for the swabs. Yeah. Nice little bag of Q-tips there. Oh, sorry if you're getting commercials. It's a free broadcast. I gotta put up with it. Everybody's gotta put up with it. Okay, now Sargasso Sea. Sargasso Sea is one I've been excited about. Super dark blue. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, that's dark, alright. Ah, screwed it up. Gotta do another one. Alright, curious to see how this one swabs. I know that like doing a glass pen and Q-tip swab is not like the absolute best thing in the world, but it's the only thing that I can do in a practical sense to get these colors. In a perfect world, I would ink up a fountain pen and do it. Of course, then different fountain pens act differently, and there's really just no perfect all-around solution. But this is at least manageable. You figure we've got 650 plus inks at this point. It's a lot. It's a lot. Whoa. Wow. Okay, Sargasso Sea looks good wet. We'll see how it dries. Wow, that is vibrant. That is vibrant. I'm not easily impressed. I want to see how it dries. It looks pretty bright. It looks kind of like Bay State Blue-like when it's wet, but I don't think it's going to dry as bright. I can see it's already darkening up. I'm going to get ready some of my De Atramentis colors here while we're waiting for that to dry. I got like 10 new De Atramentis colors too. They're all people inks. They're not like new, brand new, but they're new to us. And new to a lot of you. Okay. Catch up in the chat here. You're one of the Noodlers contest drawing winners. You got first news that Nathan announced his winner from our Twitter. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that kind of came out of the blue. He really didn't give us a heads up about that art contest either. I mean, I guess we kind of knew when it was supposed to close, but we thought it was actually going to take a lot longer for him to choose the winners. I think he kind of made it a high priority to choose them. Okay, so Sargasso Sea is drying pretty dark, but yet vibrant. That's interesting. That's an interesting color right there. I think Sargasso Sea is going to be an interesting blue. I think this is one of the ones I'm definitely going to try to ink up in the pen sooner than later, because I want to see how that's going to perform. Very cool. Looks good on the ivory too. Okay. So here we go. Here's the Diamine ones again. Peach haze. It really looks like crap on the video. It'll turn on. It'll look better in person. Ochre. It's kind of neat. If you like browns. Grape. Very dark purple. Reminiscent of PR Tanzanite. Misty Blue. Kind of solid royal blue. And then Sargasso Sea. So there you go. Kind of cool. Now, yeah, on the video they're gonna look awful compared to the person. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some De Atramentis here. I've got a bunch of them. I'll just kind of call them out as I do them. I've got the Dante Alighieri. There you go. Now with De Atramentis, Dr. Jansen, who makes these inks, is German, and he actually doesn't speak English. He has to get his daughter to help translate everything. So some of the names that we get on these bottles are not typical spellings you might see, but I mean when I swab these up, I will just literally put the name that's on the bottle, just because, you know, it's not my name that I came up with. If he puts something on the bottle, that's what I'm going to put on the swab. So if you ever see any misspellings on there, it's not on purpose, you know, that I'm trying to be strange or anything, but ooh, okay. Dante is nice red. Okay. Gotta make sure I spell all these right. Got it. Oh, we got a bunch of people in the chat here. See, we got like 28 people on here. This is cool. It's a better showing I thought. I swear I swore I would have had like 4 people. That's okay. I'm recording this anyway, so if you want to go back and later and see it, then that's cool. All right, swabbing up Dante Alighieri. It's like a Noodler's Widowmaker color. Yeah, it's not like super bright red. It's not super saturated. It's probably middle of the road. There you go. Now you said Sargasso Sea looks like the winner of the bunch. Oh, there's no question about that. That was actually when the initial colors were first released. Diamine had some of their own swabs up on their site, which their color adjustment is usually pretty good, better than a lot of others I've seen. But their Sargasso Sea is what stuck out to me. And as soon as I found out it was going to be in the last batch, I was like, crap. I really was looking forward to that one. All right, I'm going to do George Friedrich Handel. So here you go. This is typical as there's George, but no E on the end like you'd typically see in the US. So I'm just going to put it as it is on the bottle. Oh, and Handel. Look how Handel is spelled too. That's okay. It's unique. Okay, this looks like a green, or like a teal or something. Honest to goodness, we don't know what most of these colors are before we order them. Because there's like no swabs or anything of these De Atramentis inks. Okay, now this is where I have to be careful to spell it right. Oh, it's like a green through and through here. Georg. Friedrich. Haeendel. Okay. Sometimes I'll spell things wrong and not catch it until after the swab is like completely done. I feel like an idiot. A lot of times it's not even me or Rachel that catches it. It's not until it's like all the way out there already. Sorry if I'm not looking up at the camera very much. Okay. Handel. It's a nice green. I've been impressed with De Atramentis' inks, I'll be honest with you. We really hadn't used them very much before we started carrying them because they were really hard to find. But they just had so many different colors. I mean, we heard good things about them. They had so many colors. I think they have 330 or 340 or something like that. It's a lot. At this point, we're carrying about 250 maybe. Somewhere around there. I don't even know off the top of my head. Okay, so it's like a teal, a very heavily green teal. Yeah, it's coming across okay on the video, not so great. Now, one thing I've been getting asked a lot, sorry. Can I widen the view and aim it down? No, not really. This is just on my webcam. I don't have any options for my camera angle here. I mean, I can try scooting it back, but if I aim it down, you're going to see my laptop keyboard, and then you're not going to see my face. Is that cool? Would you rather not see my face? Okay. Okay, so there's Handel. It's not a bad color. All right, Tchaikovsky. That's what we're going to do next. Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. It is hard for me to read the screen like this, though. Said you mixed De Atramentis Rose with Red Dragon, and it worked fine. No slime or weirdness. Okay, well that's good. Okay, Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Gotta be careful on the spelling on this one. Sorry again for not talking very much while I write. I'm very much not a multitasker. So if I'm talking to you while I'm trying to write, especially with things where the spellings are unconventional, then I will most definitely screw it up. So I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing, that's all. Swabbing it up. This is a gray. Silver gray is what they call it. What I was starting to say a second ago is that a lot of people have asked me about the De Atramentis scented inks and the people inks, asked me if they're the same as the conventional. And the truth is, I don't know. I don't have any data on them. I have very little information to go on. There's the gray. I don't know how well you can get a sense of what's going on there. Silver gray. So what I'm going to try to do is like lay out all my swabs of De Atramentis and see which ones are identical across the people and scents and stuff like that. And we'll see how that looks. You wonder if it's a random pick or how they decide which color goes with which person. I think it's random, to be honest with you. Because, like, I mean, we were joking about that when we got in. I don't know if it was the last batch or maybe the batch before, where Alexander Hamilton was like this royal purple. And we were like, well, that's an interesting choice. It seems to be pretty random. I mean, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. Like the Alexander Hamilton one seemed pretty random. You guys are seeing my whole process here. I don't know if I've ever shown exactly how I do my swabs before. It's nothing too magical. I mean, I write it with a glass pen. And then I just swab it with a Q-tip. I make sure to saturate the Q-tip, you know, as much as I can. The reason I saturate the Q-tip as much as I can is not necessarily because that's the only way to do it. It's more just that that's the most consistent way I can do it across all the inks. If it's 100% saturated, the Q-tip is 100% saturated with ink, then I know I'm getting consistency across all the different swabs that I'm doing. Then I always dip after each swab that I do. There we go. It is brown. So brown with a little bit of red, the Shakespeare is. There you go. Shakespeare. It's nice. Yeah, it definitely has a noticeable red tint to it. Okay, 6 to go. Raphael, Santi. That's what we're doing next. Boy, let's see if I can spell this one right. Ooh, indigo blue. Yeah, see, some of these have the names written on them. You know, like this one has indigo blue written on it, but then other ones like the Don Quixote that I'm going to get to has no information about what color it is. So I don't know. I also know that De Atramentis has made, you know, custom inks for retailers before. Like a couple weeks ago, we actually got in some frankincense that was like a dark red color, and it was a custom mixture. It was a frankincense scent with a dark red ink, so it was very confusing. Indigo blue is a nice color, though, I will say that. Raphaelo, Santi. It actually looks a lot like Sargasso Sea. A lot like Sargasso Sea, as a matter of fact. Said, speaking as an ink nerd, you find that kind of fun, plus you have John Williams' soundtrack playing in the background. That's somewhat appropriate. Now we're swabbing up some composers and stuff. Wow, it's actually kind of amazing how similar this is to Sargasso Sea. I'll have to do a side by side. There you go. It's vibrant blue. I like that. I'll show the two together, but I'm going to let this one dry first. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're very close. Sargasso Sea, I think, is a little bit darker, a little bit more saturated, and has a little bit of a red tinge to it. Okay. Brahms. We'll do Brahms next. See, that's a cool thing about having so many inks now. We've got like 650 or something. It's a lot. So it's kind of cool to see like what compares to what else. Because we honestly don't see too many truly unique colors anymore. I mean, we'll see some that are unique, but they got to be like very subtle differences. There's nothing that's like, you know, there are some every now and then that are totally unique. But usually we can find a substitute for one ink or another with almost everything. The ones that end up being really unique are like the Noodler's ones that have unique properties. It's not so much the color that is unique anymore, it's the properties. By the way, what do you guys think about Fountain Pen 101? I've been working hard on that. I'd love to get some of your feedback about it. Said Roaring Cleaner Sulfurino is different in color than anything you've ever seen. Did you see my review of Sulfurino? I compared some other inks like it. Okay, so Brahms is a, I don't know if I can call it a red or a brown. It's like halfway in between. It's either a brownish red or a reddish brown. This is one I would put under those inks where I don't really know why this color is chosen for Brahms. Okay, so there's Brahms. Interesting. Terracotta? Sure. Not quite as brown as I would consider to be terracotta, but yeah, it's in that range. I think most of the viewers are already fountain pen geeks. I know, but okay, well, I'm not asking you as new people, but what do you think as people who've been around? I mean, no matter what stage of fountain pennery you were in, we all started somewhere. You know, and if you've already been around in fountain pens for a while, that probably means that you had to learn through the School of Hard Knocks. And I'm trying to kind of eliminate the School of Hard Knocks and replace it with Fountain Pen 101. So, you know, what do you guys think about Fountain Pen 101 and what I've been doing on the blog lately to kind of teach new people? I'd love to get some feedback there. Oh, I'm doing Caesar Augustus, by the way, which is black. So that covered at least everything you know. Think of it as a gateway video. Pennery? Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of made that up. That is black. We look forward to the next videos. You only got into fountain pens at the beginning of the year and you found the videos helpful. Awesome. Well, welcome to the pen world. I'm saying from my chest level. I plan to get much more in depth. I'm laying down a lot of the basics right now with 101, Fountain Pen 101. And that's because I'm really trying to lay the groundwork for more advanced stuff that I plan to get into. But it's hard to talk about more advanced stuff if I'm going to continue to get questions like, you know, what is feathering? So what I plan to do is post these types of videos and stuff with some of the more basic stuff. That way, if anybody does jump in and join in a later video, I or anybody else can reference back to a video that's already out there. And it's kind of set up to be where you can watch them from start to finish. I actually started a playlist together on YouTube for Fountain Pen 101. Okay, so there's Caesar Augustus. Black. Not like Needler's Heart of Darkness black or anything like that, but it's pretty black. Pretty true black. I don't see a lot of yellow to it or anything like that. Sometimes blacks will either lean red or lean yellow. Okay, 3 to go. I should do a nib tuning 101. Yeah, I don't know about that. I've talked about that with Brian Gray for a long time. The thing about nib tuning, though, is there really isn't a 101. You kind of need to know what you're doing, or else you can screw stuff up without even realizing it. So we're still trying to figure out how to tactfully go about doing that. Okay, this is Giacomo Puccini. Purple. Sorry, aubergine, that's the color. Nice color. I like this color. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm behind on some of the comments here. I think you're doing very well with the videos. It's unique to any other pen retailer scene. So in my opinion, a lot of newbies are drawn to your site for things like Fountain Pen 101. Well, good. That's the idea. Not just unique to retailers, but it's really unique to anybody. I mean, I keep up with a lot of different bloggers and stuff, and you know, there's a lot of good information out there, and there's definitely people that know what they're talking about. But I've never really seen anybody try to like take it from the very beginning, like really kind of hold somebody's hand and answer the question, you know, why do people use fountain pens, and what are fountain pens all about? I get asked that a lot, especially when I meet people locally. I mean, in my nice little internet world here, you know, I'm pretty well known, I guess. But when I step outside of these doors of this shop, there's Giacomo Puccini. When I step outside of this shop, I'm just like a regular old guy. And when I tell people that I sell fountain pens, the first question I usually get is, people still use those? That or, I think I've heard of that. What's a fountain pen? How do I keep this desk so free of ink stains? I don't. I just wipe it up if I spill ink on it. I got a good coat of varnish on here. Actually, the truth is this desk is huge. So if I get an ink stain part, I just won't use that for filming a video. Okay, Don Quixote. Oh, I did my key wrong. Oh, whatever. This is just my swab. This one's not going to go online. I hate uppercase Q's, for the record. I don't do them often. Honest to goodness, I'll probably never use this ink, just because I hate writing uppercase Q's. And I don't ever want to have to spell out what ink this is. You wonder about the clean hands. What clean hands? Look at my hands. See all that ink on there? Look at those fingers. Yeah. Actually, I don't really do anything special to my hands other than wash them, just like when I go to the bathroom and stuff. Actually, I wash my hands quite a few times a day because I change my kids' diapers and whatnot. Which both my kids are napping right now, in case you're wondering. That's why it's so nice and quiet in here. For those of you that don't know, Rachel and I both commute to our shop and we bring our kids with us. I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, Don Quixote. That's like a terracotta color. Which actually, now that the Shakespeare has dried a little bit, it's darkened up quite a bit. Okay, so that's Don Quixote. And last one that I've got here is Giuseppe Verdi. Thanks for joining me, everybody, too. This is a pretty good showing for watching me do ink swabs. Okay, now this one says on it, this one says that it's dark blue. So I would assume that it's the same dark blue as you would get if you bought a bottle of dark blue. But I'll have to compare to be sure. What I'm going to do is, you know, try to find out which of these colors are the same across the brand. And then we'll look to put together some kind of chart or reference or something like that so that you can easily tell. Especially if it's like a people ink where there's, you know, literally the only thing different is the label. It's one thing if it's like scented versus non-scented, but it's another thing if it's just a matter of a label. Because then if you really like the color, but we're out of stock of it or something, you know, but you really want it right now, you could just get the other bottle. That happens sometimes because there is no distributor for this. We have to buy it direct from Germany, and it can take upwards of like 2.5 months for us to get a shipment. It kind of makes our life a little hard when we're trying to stock things regularly, especially when there's so many different colors that, you know, we never really know what's going to sell and what won't. And we can't buy every ink as if it's going to sell out quickly, because then we'll be way overstocked and we'll have all of our money tied up sitting in bottles that aren't moving on the shelf. So we tend to go with lower quantities to start with newer inks, and then we increase quantities as we see things sell out quickly. Well, this is nice too. It's a nice blue. Rachel just texted me that Joseph's awake. Hang on, I'm going to text her back. Verdi's nice. That's actually, that might be some more closer to Sargasso Sea than the Raphael was. So this Verdi. Said you have Man of La Mancha going through your head. Funny thing about that, I'm related to Robert Goulet, who starred in Man of La Mancha. Oh, Rich is going to get Joseph. Okay. Okay. So let's recap all these colors here. Dante Alighieri. Here, I'm going to bring it back forward here, because that's all for the swabs. I am really related to him. Seventh cousin once removed. Kid you not. And I was a singer. Dante Alighieri. There's Handel. Really nice little Christmas combination there, doesn't it? Okay, Tchaikovsky. And Shakespeare. So you can see that Shakespeare darkened up quite a bit. Hey there. Oh, Joseph's here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Joseph's here.
Joseph, go see Daddy.
We gave Joseph a good haircut last night. Come here, bud. Want to say hey to everybody? Oh. Here's the little guy.
What's iPad?
Yeah, you want my phone, don't you?
What's a phone?
You say hi to everybody? Say hi. Can you wave?
This is Sam.
You want to see Sam? Okay, go see Sam. We got Ellie here too, and Rachel. Hey everybody.
Hi. Here's Ellie.
I just finished logging everything up.
I know, I've been watching.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't log in, I just
Gotcha.
one of the anonymous viewers.
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
I'll be done here in a minute. Okay. There's Raphael, Santi, and Brahms. Now, what I'm gonna be doing after these all dry, fully, is I'm gonna scan them and color adjust them and put them up in the swab shop. So you'll see more accurate colors of these. Puccini and Caesar Augustus. Puccini's nice dark purple. I think most of these people inks are similar colors to what's already available. And then Verdi and Don Quixote. Now I told you that the Raphael Santi and the Verdi were similar to Sargasso Sea. I doubt you're going to be able to see much difference on the video because you lose a lot of these subtleties. But just to get an idea, you can see Sargasso Sea is more vibrant, but it's not all that far off. Yeah, the Shakespeare did come out real nice. And here's Santi. When they were wet, they looked very similar. Sorry, let me see if I can hold these better. Okay, so there you go. I still think Sargasso Sea is kind of the standout if you're looking for something more vibrant. But it's a little more purple than the others. So there you go. That is my process for how I swab up inks. Nothing super magical. The key with me doing these swabs is consistency. And I personally have done all these swabs. I do all the handwriting and everything. I do all the color adjusting. So consistency is the most important thing. The reason consistency is important is because if you're comparing it to an ink that you already have, you can look at the ink that you have in relation to your computer screen and kind of make your own judgment about how it differs from what you're seeing on your monitor, and you can factor that into all the other inks that I have there. Because your computer monitor, unless you have a profiling device, you can't really trust that your computer monitor is going to be incredibly accurate. But we're shooting for better than nothing in this kind of situation. What kind of ink was used to make the Goulet pen's logo? I get asked that from time to time, and the ink that I used was Diamine Presidential Blue, but it's not the actual color of the ink. It was doctored up. I basically used that ink, and because I kind of had it on hand and it was close enough to what I wanted, and then I tweaked the color in Photoshop to get the vibrant blue that I wanted. So really I could go back and look to see what color I have now would actually be close to that adjusted splatter. And I've been asked that quite a bit. I've had it on my to-do list for forever, but I just kind of never got around to doing it. It never seemed like super important enough to take time out of my day to do it. But oh yeah, like the Superman shirt. I don't know why I've been into graphic tees this season. I guess I don't know why. They have a lot at Target. I just we go there a lot. So cool. So if you guys have any other random questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm not going to be on here too much longer because I got to go help with the kids now. It's actually Rachel's birthday today. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, it's Rachel's birthday today, so I want to make sure that I give her the adequate time that I need to give her on her birthday. So, unless you guys have any other pressing questions, I think this is a pretty good broadcast we got going on here. It's 50 minutes, so that's a little longer than I was even thinking it would be. But yeah, that was fun. Thanks everybody for the birthday thing. Now we're the same age. I'm 17 days older than her, so for 17 days every year, I get to make fun of her for not being wise and mature like I am, and she gets to make fun of me for having bad eyesight and bad hearing and being senile and things like that. So we get to poke fun at each other for a few days. It's kind of fun. It's like our little thing. So anyway, all right, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap this up because this is getting long. So thanks everybody for joining live. This is great. I'm gonna try to do more of these. It's gonna be random and sporadic. It's just kind of whenever I can fit it in. But it was fun. So I'll look to get the recording up, at some point. Maybe I'll do it today. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, if you got any questions, you can always email me at brian@gouletpens.com. I'm pretty accessible that way. But those are the new inks. We'll have them up in the swab shop as soon as we can. So thanks everybody. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.